All right, guys, here we are again in Fusion 360, and it's not exactly what I planned. I come up with a deal where, and I was going to show you, but I don't have it up here. KeySmart sent me a wallet, so you guys will have to watch the video on the KeySmart wallet whenever that arrives, which should be in the next week or two. They sent me this wallet, and I was like, well, I need to do a video or want to do a video, don't have to, on this wallet, but I don't have any cards I don't even have any gift cards around here. You know, something doesn't have personal information on it. So I thought, we've got 3D printers. So why don't I just make some? So here we go. And today we're going to learn about fillets in drawings and a couple of different ways to make them in the drawing without doing them afterwards on the 3D model inside the space. So let's get started. What do you say? And here inside Fusion 360, if I can find my mouse, there it is. We're going to pretty much do what we did last time. We're going to hit start. We're going to go to the top because I want to look down on these. And we're going to pick that plane for what we're going to do. And I've got a couple of things already figured out here. We're going to do a rectangle, center rectangle. I think that's what we did last week. And we're going to type in this stuff. It's 54, get the right keyboard, 54 and 87.5. And I just took those measurements off credit card. And they're also about 0.85 thick. We're going to make it just a smidge thicker than that. But so there we go. Now, before we go any further, I do want to talk about one thing. Somebody's going to ask why I'm doing everything in metric. Well, with 3D printing and some of the other things that I'm doing stuff in metric just makes it easier. Now, I haven't fully got my head around it. How long so many centimeters or meters or millimeters is, but I'm getting there. And if you try to do this kind of software, I'm going to suggest that you do too. Actually keep a cheat sheet and a browser window open so that if I need to convert imperial over to metric, I can. All right, so we need rounded corners on this rectangle. So there's a couple ways to do this. We're going to do a way using mirroring first, so I can show you mirroring. So we're going to hit L, and I'm going to go right down through the origin. That's one reason I went through the origin, so that we would have a nice, easy to get to set of lines to split this into 4 quadrants. And if we hit escape there, see we've got 4 quadrants. And now I'm going to hit C for circle. I'll show you that up here. C for center diameter circle. So hit C and make your circle and type your 5 in that little box and hit enter, but don't put that circle on any of these lines or you'll get a constraint. And we don't want a constraint because then we can't move the circle around. And also because we're going to use a constraint. Right over here under constraints, we're going to pick up the tangent constraint. We're going to click that right there. And we're going to click that line. See how it jumped right up there? Woo! Jumped right up there. And we still have the tangent lit up. So we're going to click this circle again. And we're going to click this line. Now we have the circle at a nice tangent to both lines, giving us a nice round. Well, yeah, it's pointy still, isn't it? Well, I'll show you how it's going to give us a nice round edge. But the first thing to puzzle out is how do we get this circle in exactly the same place in every corner? Well, Fusion gives us a mirror command in the sketch menu. So we go up here, we pick mirror. And this shows you why we put those lines across the origin. Because we're going to pick this, and then that's our object in the mirror menu. And then our mirror line, it's going to be this. See how it pops up over here? We're going to tell it okay. Well, that gets us one over here. Excuse me. We need to get some down here. So back to the sketch menu. And mirror again. Somebody out there knows how to use a circular pattern to do this too, but we're not going to do that. So we picked both of these this time. Why? Because we're going to use this line. So we'll go to mirror line, and that puts 2 more circles right down here. And if everything is squared up on the origin, then you have 4 circles that are at perfect tangents, and you didn't have to try to draw them all or place them all or copy them or all these other ways you could do it. Now, we'll get to it in a minute how to deal with this if it's not on where you can do that easily. There's a couple different ways. We're going to do what I think is probably the easiest way. But you see, we have this area right here on every corner. So what do we do about that? Well, guys, it's not that hard. Check this out. We're going to hit E for extrude. You can do that right here. You can get extrude from this menu. For modify, you can get press pull. Press pull does some extra things, but right now from this sketch, if we hit press pull, we're just going to get the extrude menu. So hit E for I didn't hit E. There we go. And we're going to click that. 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 Now we're going to go through and we're going to click each one of these little circles. Nice and easy, right? And now I'm going to show you. See, we didn't click this, right? We didn't click that right there. And then, just like we did last week, we can go over here and, oops, I clicked in a place I shouldn't have clicked. So that brings up something else that we can talk about. If you hold down the control key in any selection mode, well, I'm not going to say any, in most selection modes, whenever you've got some sort of operation box over here, you can hit control, it'll all go away, and you can pick up whatever you missed. Also works the other way. You can hit control, and there you go. Take it away. Or we could add in that little bit there if we wanted to. See, now we got a square edge on one edge with a hole in the middle of it, but that's not what we want. So we want to get rid of that one and take that one. And we don't need 12 millimeters. We need about 0.9 millimeters because that will get us pretty close to what an actual the Discover card was thick. And it'll also get us at a nice even spot for the printer. I think the card was like 0.857 or something. And there we go. We hit enter, and now we have a representation of an ID card, credit card, whatever. But we want it to go in and out of the wallet pretty easily. So go up here to modify. We're going to pick chamfer. And we're not going to get into any fancy chamfers. We'll talk about that in another whole different video. But we're going to do that. I'm going to put 0.2, I believe, in there. Yeah. And get that to come up here where we can see it. And see, we have a little chamfer. Now, on the 3D printer, that just means that 1 or 2 layers are going to back off a little bit and give you a chamfer. But it'll make it easier to get the cards in and out of the wallet. I wish more card companies would chamfer the edge of their cards. But we've got Fusion, so we can do it ourselves. So there you go. That is using mirroring, because we will go back and okay. Let's click OK here. And we're going to go back and look at our sketch. We drew our rectangle. Then we made some lines across the origin, directly across the origin where everything intersects. And we drew a circle. Then we mirrored that circle over here. Then we mirrored that circle down here using those 2 lines we drew. Everything come out really good. Whenever we went to extrude, we didn't worry about trimming all this extra off. We just picked the stuff we wanted to extrude, made a new body out of it, and everything turned out really, really good. And that is as hard as that gets. Now, what happens, or what can you do if you're in a drawing, you're a long way from the origin, you don't want to build circles, or maybe you can't build a circle? Well, there is something in there for you. We're going to start a new one. Now I'm going to run through all the initial stuff here real quick. There's a center point rectangle. That's 87.5, 54. Okay, so now we have our rectangle back, and it's the same size, but we still need those rounded or filleted edges, right? On these corners, because trying to stick this to the wall, it'd be all pokey, and we ended up breaking the little 3D print. So we figured out how to do it with mirrors and circles. Now let's do it with fillets. Places an arc of a specific radius at the intersection of two lines or arcs. Select the vertex or the two lines or arcs. Specify a radius for the fillet. So check this out. We picked up the fillet command because there's not a hotkey for it. It's just right there, no hotkey. We click there. We click here. Makes a huge fillet. That's okay. We'll fix it in a minute. We click there. We click there. We click there. We click there. Click this line. That line. And we didn't need that big fillet. We need a 5mm radius because that's what we did with those circles, right? And one of them always just goes completely bonkers. And I don't even know how that happens. Because we get out to 10mm and it's just a mess. So we're going to hit Control Z. If I haven't talked about Control Z before, Control Z is undo. It's official thing, but it's the I made a mistake and I need to go back. That's what it really means. So we're going to go down here where this radius for this is. We're going to double click on it and we're going to put 5mm in there and hit enter. And now we got this one corner over here. We're going to go back to the sketch menu, grab the fillet command, click that, put a 5 in there, and boom, we're all good again. If anybody knows why one of them always goes wacky, please let me know because I have no idea and it's thoroughly annoying. And a lot of times whenever I could do this quick and painlessly, I end up doing the circles and mirrors and all the other craziness that we did to begin with. You need to know how to do both ways, but if it's a place where this would be quicker, like making this little card, hey, use this. And now let's do our extrusion. You guys, now see, that's the cool thing about this. There's nothing extra to pick up. It's all there. But we need 0.9. And we're going to add in one other little thing. We're going to put a DFX in here. Make this just a little bit cooler. And that's a DFX of the TKT letters. I'm not going to go into how to make them different shapes or scale it or any of that stuff. But we are going to extrude it. And we're going to do a cut. So we're going to do -20. And that changed it to cut, so we can click OK. And why did I go -20 whenever there's only 0.9 there? Well, I just went to a number that I knew was over what I had. And you need to be careful with that because if you have other objects in your drawing, you could kick your own tail doing that, cutting stuff out of other bodies. But if this is the only body there you go. But if you do need to cut through those other bodies, you can cut a long ways and off of one drawing, which is very useful. Anyhow, guys, for this one, we used a fillet in the sketch menu. As I showed you, that's the best I know how to use it. And it's right there. But we used a fillet in the sketch menu. That makes a cleaner sketch. Does it make a better sketch? No, the end result's still the same. But whenever you do it this way, if you have something where you can do it quickly this way, it's a lot quicker to achieve than the circles and mirrors and all that kind of stuff, or even circles and tangenting them all to this is just easier if it works for you. Even if it doesn't work on one corner of a square object or rectangular object, and you have to put one in yourself, who cares? It's still quicker than doing all the other stuff. But I wanted to show you guys both ways. We'll stop the sketch, and then I'm going to go put these on the Raptor, the big printer, and print, I don't know, probably 8 or 10 of them, so we can, we've got a couple of wallet presentations coming up, and I needed some of these cards, so that's why we're doing this. We'll continue on with normal Filament Friday stuff. Or not Filament Friday. Chep does Filament Friday. We're doing Fusion Friday. We'll continue on with some new Fusion Friday stuff here in, I don't know, probably next week. So, you guys have a great day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And click that little bell button if you'd like to keep up on the Fusion stuff, or the knife videos, or the EDC gear videos. And yes, very soon, some 3D printing videos coming your way. Have a great day, guys.